DevilNeverCry.
What is up everyone, it is me DevilNeverCry, and in today's video we're going to be rounding up everything you need to know about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth that was recently announced or unveiled at Tokyo Game Show. There's plenty of news to discuss in today's video, so I'll keep the intro brief. Though if you haven't already, I definitely suggest you check out my gameplay impressions video of FF7 Rebirth, where I was able to get hands-on with the game and provide my thoughts. And of course, if you are interested in more future coverage, then definitely subscribe, as there's more on the way. With that said, let's dive right in. First things first, we have the absolute bombshell from the game's director himself, Naoki Hamaguchi, that FF7 Rebirth will be a one-to-one recreation in scale of the original Final Fantasy VII map, including things like the overworld, cities, and even dungeons. The world structure or design has been described as being seamless, which I assume will likely mean perhaps no loads, especially considering this game is next-gen only for the time being, with Hamaguchi-san going on to clarify in an interview with Press Start that initially players will have access to a fairly large area that will indeed expand as the player progresses further on in the main quest. We also get confirmation that you can go back to regions that you've previously been to in the past, as it is a seamless map, allowing you to find new quests and new bits of story which have appeared there as you go along. It goes without saying, of course, that providing extra quests and pieces of story for players who do backtrack is a great incentive beyond just picking up perhaps chests or items that they might have missed the first time through. Thanks to recent first impressions videos and previews, my own included, we got an extended look at Under Junon, a fishing village just underneath the town of Junon itself. However, as a result of Tokyo Game Show, we also got an extended look at Kalm, the first town the party visits shortly after leaving Midgar in the original Final Fantasy VII. It looks as though the town has been upsized somewhat, though largely retains the same general aesthetic and appeal that it did in the original. We also get a look at the bulletin board in this gameplay, which is essentially where players are able to tackle side quests that range from taking out fiends that have been terrorizing locals, or even completing minigames. We'll get back to the overall topic of minigames later. I do want to touch upon a few comments that we have received from the game's creative director Tetsuya Nomura. The first of which is that we have confirmation that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will feature 100 hours of content. This isn't to say that just beating the game will take you 100 hours, but perhaps that the game features enough extracurricular content alongside the main quest that you could easily sink 100 hours into it without going through devious amounts of repetition. I'd wager those 100 hours includes all of the side quests and side content that we're going to talk about in just a second, but also perhaps going for the Platinum Trophy and even going for a hard mode completion if there is one. We then also have the unfortunate confirmation once more from creative director Tetsuya Nomura that Sid Highwind and Vincent Valentine are not going to be playable members of the party, directly likening them to the addition of Red 13 in Final Fantasy VII Remake, where he was just simply controlled by the AI. That's seemingly what's going to occur here with both Sid and Vincent. Considering that this game takes us all the way to the Forgotten Capital and what lies ahead in the third and final game, it makes sense that they'd likely save these two playable members of the party for that third and final game, as opposed to just cramming everything into the second one. Certainly a bit of a shame, but completely understandable as to why they decided to go down that avenue. Furthermore, we also have confirmation that there is no DLC planned for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth at this point, which means that we're likely not going to get an intermission DLC for both Vincent and Sid, similar to how they did it with Yuffie, where she was playable there and then becomes playable here. So it looks as though we are truly going to have to wait for that third and final game if we want to get our hands on a playable Vincent or Sid. Whilst we are on the topic of returning characters, however, it's been confirmed that Chadley, the Shinra intern from Final Fantasy VII Remake, who effectively managed all of the VR battles, will indeed be returning in Rebirth with a new purpose. Once more, it seems as though Cloud & Co. are going to have to collect and extract data for one of Chadley's schemes, specifically the World Intel scheme. By completing various tasks for Chadley, both in and out of battle, the player will be rewarded with data points. These data points can then be spent at Chadley's shop to effectively purchase special materia. Chadley also provides the party with a Chad module, a key item that can be used at these different Remna Wave towers dotted around the landscape that, when interacted with, will reveal points of interest on the map. Strutting ahead, let's talk about Chocobos. One of the new pieces of footage we saw from TGS was Cloud and the party hunting or catching Chocobos. Specifically, they were on the hunt for one hard-headed bird that Barrett loves to call Biko, and after catching this particular Chocobo, the party then gained access to using Chocobos throughout the rest of the map. Dotted around the map, you can find fallen Chocobo stops, and if Cloud and the party take the time to put them back upright, you'll not only be able to unlock a new fast travel point, but in some instances you can even unlock golden plumes, a type of currency that you're then able to use at the Chocobo farm to purchase new pieces of equipment for your Chocobo so that you can customize how they look. And we got confirmation once more at TGS that you can use Chocobos to find hidden items and dig for them. Moving away from Chocobos entirely, we also got another look at the Fiend Hunting system, where Cloud and Co are able to stumble upon unique variants of fiends or monsters that they're then able to hunt for specific rewards, provided they complete the combat assignments attached to that specific hunt. Should you fail to complete the assignments, or even if you complete all of them, you then also have the option to retry the hunt if you want to. We see the party stumble upon a set of alpha dunks, which apparently used to be what Chocobos were, in that they were means of transportation both for people and for goods. But as a result of being notoriously difficult to raise in captivity, they were effectively usurped by Chocobos. We learn all of this thanks to one of Chadley's machinations, which gives us a nice narration as we absolutely slaughter them. That finally brings us on to the confirmation of two new minigames that will debut in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The first of which is a piano playing minigame in which Cloud is effectively tasked with hitting specific notes at specific points to create a melody. It seems as though you'll likely be able to create whatever it is that you want to, much like a lot of music playing minigames in a lot of games these days, but it's cool nonetheless. We then also have the inclusion of a wonderful new card game by the name of Queen's Blood. You know me, I absolutely adore card games, though I don't think anything personally is gonna dethrone Triple Triad. I'm definitely interested in playing Queen's Blood and seeing just exactly how it works, and more importantly, how you can break it. And that effectively brings us to the end of this roundup of TGS news for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. If there is anything new that comes out, expect to see some content around it. If you enjoyed today's video or learned something new that you didn't know before, leave a like and let me know what it was down in the comments below. With all that said and done, it has been me, DevilNeverCry. I'd like to thank all of you for watching, and as always, I'll see you all next video.